Look at him. He's just dickered. Just dickered, boys. Son of a bitch.
Yo, yo. Class A, and macro. Not connected, not elected to participate. Bouncing down the stems will make your head hurt. Enjoy the takes. Says her whose head burns from hearing horror stories. Get burnt from gasoline. I won't be at the trial, I'm sorry. Wind turns when Baroness.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Take a Wide. This is episode 230. First, let me say thank you to those who are ordering shirts. It's really dope that people are doing that. Helps support the show, helps get the word out there. So it's really cool you guys care to go buy a shirt. So if you guys haven't yet, you can go to takeawide.com, click on merch, or go to takeawide.bigcartel.com, and you can see all the, well, not all the shirts, there's one shirt, but you can see the great shirt that Shawnee made, printed by Ironclad Graphics. And yeah, just grab a shirt if you guys can. Let me get into the sponsors. The first sponsor up is Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Heartbeat Hot Sauce is a hot sauce company from Thunder Bay. My buddy Al runs it, and he was on episode 221 where we kind of talk about that and his history with touring. And it's a really cool thing that they're blowing up really huge. They're on season 6 of Hot Ones. If you don't know what Hot Ones is, just YouTube it. It's a great interview show with celebrities, and they're really, really fucking blowing up. It's a really good hot sauce. Let me just run through the kind of description. The peppers are fermented using traditional methods before being cooked with a few simple, high-quality ingredients. There's no water added, thickening agents, or chemical preservatives of any kind, and it makes their sauce as natural as it gets. And right now, they're doing a promo code TakerWide5. You get 5% off your cart. So shipping sucks, and go in on it with some friends, and you can save some fucking money. HeartbeatHotSauce.com. Next up is DFA Tattoos. It's a collective of driven and skilled artists with the goal of creating the best tattoos out in Montreal. From large-scale work to quick walk-ins, they believe that every tattoo is important. They work with a variety of styles, from bold, traditional to photorealism and portraits, and they have an artist to suit all of your projects. It's a great fucking place. Shawnee and his friends own that, run that. It's in Montreal. It's at 328 St. Catherine Est. And just go to dfatattoos.com and you can check it out. So all love to those guys for supporting this. And if you guys are in Montreal, 100% go see DFA. They'll get you guys covered up, literally. Next up, Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota. Kevin is an old friend. He works at 3121 King Street East in Kitchener, and he is supporting this. He's an old friend, like I said, and he's always supported me and my bands, and into this. Now he's supporting the podcast. And if you guys are in the market to buy a new car, I'd say go talk to Rigo if you're around Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo. He knows his shit. He's trustworthy. He's reliable. And if you're making a big investment like that, I would push you towards Rigo for sure. It'd make the process a lot easier. Just a real ass dude. And if you are looking for a new car or even used car, go talk to Rigo. Talk to him. Mention the show, and you'll get special pricing on new vehicles. Next, we have Ironclad Graphics. They're a screen printing company in Kingston, and I've been working with them for years and years with all my bands. They're affordable. They ship coast to coast. Even though they are in Kingston, they still make it affordable so that they can be competitive. They fucking print anything: shirts, posters, inserts, fucking koozies, tote bags, I don't know, everything. Just go to ironcladgraphics.com, check it out there, take a gander and see what they have, and you guys can order some shit from them. Please do that. Next, we have Dapper Beard Oil. It's a beard oil company that my buddy Andrew runs out in Ottawa. It's really cool. It's similar to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce, where it's a guy starting his own little business, and he's seen success for real. It's a quality product. I've used the Gold Tusk. It smells great, but it's not overpowering. It helps hydrate. And it helps repair your beard. It's antibacterial. It reduces beard dandruff. It's all ethically sourced. It's 100% natural ingredients, and it's small business. So if you guys use the promo code TakerWide free ship, you'll save on the shipping. You'll save. He'll send it to you for free. Well, not for free. You just pay for it, but you don't have to pay for shipping. Go to dapperbeardoil.com and you can scope it out. Take a gander. He's got the 3 different kinds, and it's really cool that they're supporting this. So please go support them. Next, we have Wellington Brewery. They're in Guelph. They are Canada's oldest independent-owned microbrewery. And for this episode, we drank a shit ton of their beers. Well, I can't say a shit ton, but a nice variety. We had some sours and some IPAs, and they have a ton of fucking beers. And they're cool because they have a conscience. It's a company with a conscience. They, namely, I can name the 25 cents of each can of Queen of Craft Grisette gets donated to Guelph Wellington Women in Crisis. So that fucking rules. So if you're out and about, grab a Wellington and sip on that, and maybe it'll think of the show. And I don't know. It's a good beer. What do you fucking rant on with beers? It's good beer. Lastly, DaveLevittPhotography.ca. Dave hosted these from episode 1 when nobody was listening. And he's always been a supporter of what I do. Solid fucking dude. And recently got married, so that's fucking super cool. And just all love to him. Hopefully if he's listening, I love you, Dave. You're the best. Thank you. And go support him. Support him through Facebook, through the Instagram page, whatever. Just find it. DaveLevittPhotography.ca. So those are the sponsors for the show. For this episode, I sat with John Harvey. He sings with Monster Truck out of Hamilton. If you don't know who Monster Truck is, they are up and coming, fucking hustling rock band that have really been seeing some crazy success. They've toured with Slash and fucking Deep Purple, and I don't know. We talk about a lot of stuff in this episode, and he's an old friend. It's cool to see your friends succeed, and it's still a struggle. It's still a fucking job for these guys, but he's a talented cat. I've known that from day one. So to see him thrive and do well, it's really cool, man. So it's really dope that we could sit down and talk and catch up because I hadn't seen him for years. And I hope you guys enjoy it. This is 2:30 with the Harv.
Man.
He really did, man. And like we were saying, we're at the point where things are happening.
Yeah.
You know? Like that, like our friend fucking had cancer. And
yeah, or like whatever. Something is going to happen.
Yeah. And it's, well, I don't try to worry I worry a lot about shit.
Oh, yeah?
And this time of my life, I could really get out of control because like my parents are getting old. We're getting old.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
And like, whatever. It just, I could veer off on that, but yeah. Hey, thanks for doing this, man.
Hey, no worries.
It's cool to catch up. And honestly, I'm kind of guilty to put mics in front of us because we can just catch up, but
no, it's fine. It doesn't
it
matter.
is what it is.
It's just nice to see you, man.
Yeah, after, like 10 minutes, we forget these are in our face. And yeah, so I'm here with Harvey.
Hello.
Hello. And I was thinking about, I wanted to talk to you for a long time just because you're, we all came up kind of underground, like playing shit. And then now you're in a band that is on a level that not a lot of my friends are at.
Yeah.
So it's interesting and fascinating. Even before we hit record, just your experience. And I just want to talk to you about that. Like,
okay.
You go from Hoosier.
Yeah.
And then, Monster Truck is starting out. And then it really, do you think it it seemed like it's not escaped you guys, but it's like, holy shit, this ball's really rolling. Like it kind of
a little bit
sped up quickly. And it was like a fun band that turned into like a real job.
Yeah, super weird. It was way easier to do and it was fun.
I guess, eh?
Yeah, fuck, man. I mean, it did kind of get away from us because we were okay. Like, we were all guys that played in bands, and the band was good from the get-go almost, It took, half a year for us to be able to really rip shows. And it's like, when it works that fast, and people notice that, you start playing 7 shows at North by Northeast, and then you play every CMW show, and everyone wants to hang out with the band Monster Truck because it's so ridiculous.
When you guys, started, it was, because the dudes were from The Reason, right? No.
Yeah, well, Steve and Jer were, yeah.
Okay, so when you guys started, it was still just you guys doing stuff. Like, at what point kind of did someone step in like, hello, I want to represent or help you guys?
Oh, it was Joel Carrier. We were like, dude, it was super early. It was like, I think we released one crappy Jam Space demo, and then we played a show, and the guy who was managing us there, his name was Nathan Stein. He was the first guy that took interest. And then he was on with Bedlam, so Joel Carrier was the boss. And then, Joel came to a show, and he's like, well, we should sign these guys. And he said, okay. And then just started going. And within, 2 weeks, we were opening for Steel Panther at what is Rebel now. It was Sound Academy. and it just went from there.
And just like it seemed like it was like that, just kind of like.
Well, then we had a radio, and then we had songs go to radio, and they did okay. And then we had our first, like, top 10, and we're like, holy shit, we're in the top 10. And then it was like, oh, the next song you put out, we put it out like 2 months later. Oh, now that one's number 3. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. That's a lot better than number 10.
Yeah.
And then Sweet Mountain River, when we did that, it was like 2 months at number 1. And then we were just like, okay, this is cool.
Wow. And then, because you're still working a job and this and that, like when I think about, was it a jarring sort of like, holy shit, or was it kind of like, was it a slow like little tour first?
Oh man,
like
we quit our jobs. Like
how quick?
Pretty early.
A year in?
We were going on tour because everyone basically sat down, the 4 of us, and we're like, okay, are we gonna actually go for this? Like, I think we maybe should go for this.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, okay. So everyone, like, I had to quit my job because there's no way they would have let me stay at the amount of touring we were scheduled.
No, you weren't tattooing. What were you doing?
No, I was working at Princess Auto. It was terrible. I had a tour. It was a month, and they're like, okay, you can do a month tour. And then I came back like 2 weeks later, and we were going up for another month with the Sheepdogs, and then it was like, can't give you another month off. So I'm like, well, all right, see ya.
Was that scary? To like?
No, it was crazy.
Quit?
My mom paid my phone bill forever. I had to move it back in with my parents at like 28, 29.
Wow.
It was weird, but I mean,
it was
scary
great though. Like,
no, you just kind of gotta jump in with both feet. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it,
Don't
weekend warrior it, man. Like, we could have easily done that. We could have easily, if someone had said, I don't really want to, I don't think we should do this. I'm not gonna quit my job. And we're like, all right, it's got a point. It might not have happened, but everyone was just like, yeah, okay, fuck it. And it worked out.
Ah, shit, man. And like I have all my questions here. I try to make it as natural as I can, but I have to reference my fucking shit
good.
so far. So at the beginning, like when it starts to pick up, and you notice like the radio's involved in this and that, you're still with Joel? Like, are you still with him? No,
we're not with him anymore.
How long were you guys with him?
Oh, while, man. Wow. Our next record is coming out on Dylon still. It's our last one with them. But we were with Joel from 2012 until 2017.
Okay.
So 5 years.
Excuse me.
Maybe 2011 it was. I don't know. But it was like 5 or 6 years. And they hired a guy named Ollie Mitchell, who is now our manager. They hired him to take care of us, and he started taking care of us, and stuff started happening overseas. And that's when we really were just like, holy crap, like, let's, overseas gives a shit. So that made everything different. And then we're like, well, Ollie's obviously pretty good. He's a British guy, right? So he knows all the English people. He used to work for Raw Power, which is Iron Maiden's, like, man. He used to do, like, Of Mice and Men and all those kind of bands.
Okay.
But he quit them to work with us, with Joel. And then eventually he got tired of working with Joel, and now he's running a management company called Unified. It's like a LA branch of their Australian. Anyways, they're huge. So he got a way crazier job, and we had a choice where it was like either you stick with Joel or you go with Ollie. And I talked to Ollie every day, and I might have talked to Joel 5 or 6 times in our entire time working with them. Well, like personally.
Yeah.
So it was like, what do you do? You go with the guy you have a relationship with, obviously. What do you want to do? You want to throw something away with jump back into a relationship that you didn't even know existed for the past,
Yeah.
It was odd. But anyways.
Well, I guess it's kind of in fitting, almost ties into like when you guys just jumped in both feet to do the band thing, something like this. It's like you just go for it, right?
Risks, man. You have to take them, but like sometimes they're so dumb and sometimes they're not.
But you don't know, I guess, right? Till you take
You
them.
never know. You never know.
Do you, the whole version of being in a big band, is it what you thought it would be, or is it worse or better? Because like you have your experience, now you have this experience, but is when you guys started picking things up and you're like opening for bigger bands, is it kind? Because I have a version in my head of like, oh, what it would be like to be in a bigger band. Was it what you thought? It's not
very different, man.
It's not very different?
No, you're still playing shows. You're still slugging your own gear. You're still, you might get a bus now, but nothing good about being on a tour bus. It's cool for the first, 3 tours. But after that, you're just like, oh, my God.
Why? Why does it suck?
Because it's just like this traveling sickness tank, and you're basically sleeping on a shelf, and there's kind of room, but there kind of isn't. And,
Are you sharing with other bands a lot, or is it just
no?
you guys?
We just usually do our own buses because we're idiots. But we take it's only 6 of us on a bus that sleeps 12, so it's kind of comfortable.
Okay.
Like there's people that take 15 people on a 12 sleeping bus. It's like stuff you have to do.
Do you guys have a crew?
Yeah, we usually only keep a few guys though. We know what we're doing.
Like a sound guy.
We got our front of house,
Front of
tour
house.
manager, and then we usually have one tech guy or two, or one tech guy and one merch guy. But yeah, we'd love to run lean. We have some really good techs, but Rival Son stole our tech, Ben, who's amazing. He does he can do anything, drums, guitars, whatever. He did our whole fucking back line, set it up, tore it down. Like he was the hardest
shit.
worker, and became my super buddy, and then he ditched us.
Just I guess it's a job, right?
They had work, we didn't have work.
Yeah.
But he's still one of my better buddies. But yeah, it's crazy. And I find people that can do that kind of stuff for as much money as you're willing to pay them. Because we're not. By no means are we breaking the bank. I don't drive a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I drive a Honda.
No one can see the ramen noodles that.
Right.
he's eating.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But that's kind of how it is. I mean, you have to be tight with your life, or you're screwed.
Well, it's like you. I think a miniature version. Your band is your product, and the artwork and let's say a CD has to look good, and then an extension of that is you have to sound good and everything. It steps up. You want to be as fucking pro as you can.
Well, the weird part too is now we're in a career where our third full length is coming out in September, and it's we have to step kind of everything up, but we can't. We can't. We're so beyond our means because one crew guy. It's just people don't realize. Having one crew guy on the road means you probably don't get that much money.
Huh.
That crew guy takes off we have expensive crew guys, but for a bottom rung crew guy, we're talking 1,000 a week maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
So 1,000 Canadian a week, plus per diem. So whatever you give them, $30 a day.
Okay.
Plus accommodation if they need it or if we need it somewhere. It's just so much cost. It goes mental. And when you think of $1,000 a week, and some of our higher end crew make a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And $1,000 a week is like a guy off the street. And dude, it's hard. Even the guys we hire from England, they're like, oh, I'll do it for 80 pounds a day. That's $160 a day. That's more money than I'd make working wherever down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. Why don't I just become a tech then?
That's the crazy thing that you hear. I've heard at the end of the day, musicians who you think are doing well make minimum wage kind of.
Well, yeah, I make as much as I don't know, a teacher.
Yeah.
None of us are. We're not. No one gets rich in this shit anymore, especially in rock and roll. It's kind of a joke.
A lot of expenses, even a tour bus is
tour bus is $60,000.
Fuck. But
for a couple months, probably $60,000.
Now, would you guys? So how big is your crew? How many?
It's usually 4
8?
band members, and then sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 6. We like to run super lean. We did a tour. We opened for Nickelback in Australia. Did an arena tour with 6 guys. It was awesome. But their crew helped us out a lot too. That's the thing. The headlining crew always loves us, and they always help us.
Cool.
And everyone wants the show to go good.
Now, you won't take a van just because long drives, because you guys.
Nah, we do a van. We just have to hire someone to drive it because I don't want to drive it.
Is it still buses, or it depends on the
Depends.
tour?
I mean, really now, the way you start after you haven't been touring for a year and a bit, it's you don't really want to jump into a bus right away just because you want to make that extra money.
Yeah.
If you can afford, if your body can take it, go in a van. Don't be proud. Ramones never took a bus ever. They're 70 years old in the back of a fucking van. So
crazy.
You can't even tell me that people have to do it. And it's all about money. It's all about where the budget is,
That must take away, though, from the fun, the business end of it.
It kind of does, but I mean...
I guess you're not dealing with it directly. You have other people dealing with it.
We have other people dealing with it, but I mean, our organ player makes sure everything is...
Mm-hmm.
He's the band source of, all right, what are we doing? Yeah, he double checks all the books.
Huh.
But, and he basically runs all the stuff we don't want to do. I'll write the songs. You make sure we're flying in the right spot, or it's a good trade.
Do you still do any art direction for the band? Because
me and Jer do all of it.
You guys do all of it.
All of it. Obviously, CD layouts, Jer. Usually, most of the conceptual stuff is me and him together.
Cool.
We've come up with every single. He's done.
Did you do the logo?
Yeah, I drew it, and then he made it digital. And then, everything we do. I mean, even our new cover for our new record is a friend of mine that tattoos me.
Oh, okay.
I was like, bro, you got to do this. And he said, okay. So he did it, and it was great. And it's just, and I sent him basically what I wanted in a rough sketch, and he's sent me back something. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, that's great.
So wait, did he draw like all your faces? Like, right? What's the album cover? Is it the back of somebody or is it all your faces?
No, it's like everything. It's like this weird, like, kind of wanted it to look like a blaxploitation movie poster with shit just flying out everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
So the front of it just got like the four of us and are like doing rock shit, and then the back of it's got 4 portraits and then like some amps and like
Cool.
Jer's back or something because it had a monster truck patch on it and like a fist like this, and I don't know. It was trying to cram a bunch of shit into one. It worked out pretty good. I think it turned out really nice.
Do you have like at this level like musically and even with the art like people sticking their finger in like ooh that
here
might
and there,
not.
but not really.
No,
We can kind of do what we want.
That's cool.
I mean, we did do like 3 extra songs for this record after it was already done. Everyone was like, "There's no singles." And we're like, "Fuck, all right." So we went in and wrote 3 radio singles because gotta eat, bro.
Yeah, fuck.
So we wrote those 3 songs and then went in with Gavin Brown, who's like he did like 3 Days Grace and like
Okay.
the first 3 Billy Talents, and like guy's a baller. He's a hit maker.
Uh-huh.
So we went in with him and we chugged out 3, I don't know, more radio friendly tunes. It's funny, we wrote one song, the first single that came out in Canada, we wrote it to be a single in America, and our label in America was like, nah, it sounds too American. We were like, come on.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, like, it was sketchy for us because we were like, all right, well, we got to try something.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a stretch for everybody, but I mean.
Too American.
That's it sounded too much like what was already on American radio. I'm like, isn't that the whole point, though? Isn't that what you want us to do?
Like, that's a puzzle piece that fits in that piece.
Yeah, like, it does kind of mash the record up a bit, which is nice, those 3 tunes. But, yeah, man, it's like, dude, no one knows what they want.
So that...
And now in this scrambling industry where everyone's trying to make $1 off of God knows what, and, like, seriously sticking to your guns and being a niche band, you'll make more money.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you're, like, a popular niche band, you'll make more money.
Do you need another beer? I got a bunch, man.
Yes.
I have a sponsorship for this through Wellington. So this is a...
You have a sponsorship?
Yeah, Lager Dave.
Yeah, Lager Dave.
There's a sour, if you're into sours. Or there's a Digger's Wit, which is a Belgian wit beer.
Jeez Louise, I'll try this Lager Dave.
Yeah, that's like pretty stock here. Oh.
Stock Dave?
I feel like stock beer. Yeah, that actually doesn't work very well, but it'll work.
It's a hard life.
It's an interesting conversation because it is like, man, you're embedded. You're like doing it.
And we have no choice now, basically, right? When you think about it. What am I going to do? I'm not making as much money as I want to in this. What am I going to quit? No, because I'm going to Germany and, I'm basically seeing all of Europe and all of the UK in the end of the year. So, you can't quit that. You have to keep doing it.
It's all,
until it really becomes fucking stupid. Until you're drowning in debt and like your entire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, until it's really hopeless, you got to keep doing it.
Well, it's
I always
still
said,
fun, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Are you kidding me? I love traveling. I love playing.
Fuck.
It's wicked.
I see, like...
It's the best part about it.
It has to be.
Nothing else about it is very appealing. Recording sucks. I hate recording.
Why? Just the...
Fuck. I don't know.
The repetition? Or
and it's like... After we get it, I'm good. I don't want to listen to it 150 times. Usually after we get a song mixed and mastered, I listen to it, and then I never hear it again unless it's on the radio or someone else plays it. Everyone's always like, game tape. I'm like, fucking, I don't want game tape. I want this different thing every single time.
It's like, at this point, it's a job, and every fucking job has its ups and downs.
Dude, it's mental how much of this I take for granted now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll be like, oh, we're doing an arena tour. I'll be like, yeah, great, fuck. I know how to do those. They'll be like, oh, we're playing a club tour. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah. It's like you're so jaded across the board that nothing even matters anymore. And you get out there for 3 months, and you're just like, at the end of it, you're basically, your whole body's numb. And you don't even know why. And your brain's basically destroyed from alcohol because even if you don't like drinking, eventually on 3 months tour, you're going to get drunk a lot.
You're going to get bored and do something.
You get drunk a lot, or you smoke a ton of weed, or you know what I mean? God knows what. Now at this point in my life too, especially when you're like, oh God, I got to produce something or I stop making money. It's like, I know why people do that shit. I know why people get depressed. I know why Tom Petty was on fentanyl and like, I get it. Not Tom Petty had a reason actually. His career is pretty much over. He should have just chilled out. Well, I mean, shit, doctor's gonna give it to you. But like guys like, I don't know, Chester Bennington or like Chris Cornell, like that's a lot of fucking pressure, man.
Man, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Actually, I was gonna ask, like, the responsibility that you must feel now, like for yourself, for everyone else. Like, if you duck out, like that really throws a wrench in the works for the band, or if any of the cogs of this machine aren't greased.
Yeah, well, we're lucky. We only don't have that many staff. But look at someone like Metallica. That's a, you know.
How many people do you think they have?
They're responsible for a small city.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, no, when they come in, like, we opened for them at Heavy Montreal, and we played first on the stage in front of all Metallica's stuff. And they started setting up the night before at, like, 3 in the afternoon or the day before. And they weren't set up when we got there to sound check at, like, 11:30.
They weren't?
No. We line checked at 11:30 and played at 12. And they weren't set up yet. So there was about, I think there was like 56 trucks. So right there, that's at least 56 people. And they had like 130 crew or something like that.
Holy fuck.
And when you think about that, like even the inner circle crew, like guitar techs and like
Yeah.
monitor guys and stuff like that, like that's a main gig. But for everyone else, like it's still a main gig. Like Metallica tours, I bet you nobody gets paid shitty.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so, like, those guys are such outliers. That is possible for people, but, like, are you content with where you guys are at? Or do you want more?
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever you get. I mean,
You seem
I could
so,
die
like, chill
tomorrow
about
just
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I guess, eh?
Yeah, sure, I'd love to be at a bigger band, but I'd be honest with you, I'm good.
Shit.
And in my opinion, we're not a big band at all. We're just chill. We're like, we get to tour. Great.
Yeah.
But like, the perception of it, it's a lot different from other people's perspective. For me, it's just like I don't feel like we're in a big band at all. Like, if like,
well, you're in it, man. Like,
yeah, bands that have 1 billion streams on Spotify, I think we get in the 100,000s or like a few 100,000s. You know what I mean? It's like it's different.
More and more, man. I'm like more and more that my buddies are succeeding, and I learn more about it. Yeah, I get it more and more, and part of that makes me like like I'm kind of happy I'm not grinding. I don't know if I'm built for it.
Yeah.
It must be tough, man.
It's ridiculous. Well, it's got it's all stress.
Yeah.
Everything in life is stress. And like that's the hard part about being in a career band or career musician. And yeah, it'd be just stretch to even call me a fucking musician. But like a guy in a band for a career. That's the hardest part, is just the fact that if you don't deliver next time, this ends or this goes down a notch or like, you know what I mean? That's the hard part.
All this like, cuz you guys have fucking toured with heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Do you like have any of these like career guys given you some like super sound advice that still like rings in your head, as far as like not even so much like don't do this or don't do that, but like those guys have like crazy life experience, like Slash.
Oh yeah.
Like hanging with Slash, like
I think the whole deal with those guys is you just got to act like you fucking been there. We walk into situations like that, and we always have. And I've never was a huge Guns N' Roses fan, and so when we walked in with Slash, I'm like, oh, there he is. It's great. There he is, larger than life. Hey, buddy. And it was kind of one of those situations where you don't have to freak out. I bet you people that freak out like totally fuck it all up for themselves. They don't get to have relationships with these people.
well, just it's probably as if someone would freak out seeing. It's the same thing actually. Like Slash is a guy. Like yeah, he's in Guns N' Roses, but
Yeah, he's a fucking really good guitar player, but yeah, you're right. He's a guy. I got a bunch of buddies that are really good guitar players. You know? But like, yeah, I think it's just about, you know, being cool. Act like you've been there before. Just nothing's a big deal. You're there to do your job.
Do you guys do you get that? Do you get any sort of like people freaking out?
No.
Like, are you guys at that point?
Odd, weird time, but like seriously, even when it happens, I'm just like, get out of here. You gotta be kidding. It's not like we walk through the mall and get recognized. That doesn't matter. We're not Alexis on Fire.
Crazy.
Like it's people don't give a shit really. Or if they do, they just go monster truck and then keep walking and shit. You know, and that's fine. I'm great. Hey man. But like I'm a present in Hamilton too. People see me around all the time, so it's probably like Bruce Springsteen in Asbury Park. You know? No one cares there.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. You
actually that's a ridiculous comparison. I am by no means.
No. But like you know, you've always been such a chill kind of guy. It would seem odd if you let it get to you. Which would be so silly. Like
that's your first mistake.
Let it get to you. Like
man,
what? I'm.
Ego's the death of everything good.
Fuck, man. This is your full-time gig. This is
my full-time gig right now. But I'm going back. I've been working through the summer, like building pools and shit, just to work.
Yeah.
I want to keep that You know, I want to keep working.
Do you have like? Are you gonna have a backup plan?
I'd love to, but I don't know what it's gonna be. I'd like to get more into songwriting. I started writing with a couple other bands and like
Cool.
do stuff like that. And I'm starting a solo project now, so we'll see how that
Oh, really?
goes. Yeah.
Just like John and the dudes?
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be like folky country stuff.
Huh.
I want to give it a go.
Well, shit, man. Like,
And in the past little while, I've become absolutely fascinated with Nashville, so I just love that place. So
Cool.
I kind of want to just go there and make a Americana, Canadiana kind of record, and then, you know, tour that for a bit as well as Monster Truck and see what happens. Because in this business too, this isn't purely for an artistic, you know, thing either, man. You got to try and make some money where you can make some money. And being the level Monster Truck's at, we have to go away.
uh-huh.
And when you go away, you don't make money anymore. But if I had a solo project, I wouldn't have to go away. You know? And that's the whole point.
Well, there's a whole fucking skill set that I talk about sometimes where a band and a guy in a band, there's a skill set. It's hard to apply to the real world, but like
Right.
you could, you know, a songwriter, you can make money that way.
Yeah, I
you
could
don't
do
have
it.
to be fucking slugging it out in some tour.
And the best part about our position too is like I bet you it wouldn't be completely impossible for me to become a booking agent or a manager
True,
or like
true.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the artist development kind of person. So it's just once you know the ropes, it's pretty easy to find something else in entertainment. It's just where are the jobs? Who's
Yeah.
leaving?
Yeah.
Who's leaving so you can come on up? you
Well,
know?
shit. Like, when did it? Like, I was gonna say, you're the lead singer. I view
Right.
you as that, and that must be something you can keep in your back pocket. Not so much like,
Oh,
here's my
man.
card, but like the
I have the best music contingency plan of anyone in my band for sure because I am the singer, right? Because everyone else is like, oh yeah, you know, I'm the drummer from Monster Truck. They're like, great, he's in this band. Like the band's got to be fucking really good.
Yeah.
Like I can still go out there just under, you know, I would like to always do good music, but that's
Uh-huh.
subjective or objective or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I have that already. It's like a little bit of a ticket. It's like my little leg up. You know
kind
what
of,
I mean?
kind of.
It's true.
But you weren't always the lead singer, right? Like when you guys started, you were.
No,
it was
I
you
was kinda,
and or was it?
Everyone was kind of singing around. We still all sing, but
Uh-huh.
like it got to a certain point where I just was better at singing than everyone else.
That's like so funny, yeah. Because like in my head, it was like, okay, you were doing the Monster Truck stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like Harvey can really sing his ass off, and then seeing it like, no, not come to fruition, but it's such a great platform for how you sing.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
It's not Who's Your Poet Screaming, but it's like
No.
nice rock. You got a good
Yeah,
it's
dirty-
perfect for what it is.
Dirty dude voice.
Dirty dude voice.
Dirty dude. And that was another thing, too. We're already basically have a southern rock tinge to our whole thing. So, it's like you got to go that direction. People want you to stay the same but get better.
Huh.
They don't want you to be different. They want you to be different if you're David Bowie or you're Florence and the Machine or you're, a million other, or Imagine Dragons. They want you to change. But if you're a Monster Truck, who the fuck? No. Everyone just wants you to keep being Monster Truck. Shut up and play the songs and,
Well, the fucking
do the whole dance.
Yeah. Do you with the look? Because there's definitely a look, like the rock look. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It'd be actually really funny if I came here and you looked like you were in Monster Truck. 'Cause
Yeah. I don't really
is that hard
subscribe
to
to that
keep up?
shit. I got a fucking uniform I wear on stage, but like that's good.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even that bad. I got long hair and tattoos. Everyone thinks I'm in a band regardless of what I'm wearing usually.
So that's not a thing that like bugs you at this point. Like fuck, I got
Gotta
like,
look like a rocker? No. I mean, if you look at most rockers, they wear black t-shirts and black jeans, and that's about it. You're
That's
good.
kind of the same
You can
thing.
kind of put that uniform on and float through it, but there's shit you do to, if you're going to play a festival or if I'm on the road, I look a little different because you just don't, you're always supposed to be in rock mode.
Well, and it's also the reality. I think is that like the audience or the people who consume the fans,
Right.
like they expect something, and it might be jarring. Like you guys are playing the game correctly. I feel like the look suits the music, and it kind of it'd be weird to see you guys like not as a cohesive sort of rock unit. Actually, is there footage from Download that you recently put on Facebook?
Maybe.
Because there was someone else, I think, drumming for you guys.
Oh, that was like Ramblin' Man. That was like
Maybe.
last year. Steve was having a baby, our drummer, and
Yeah, it didn't look like Steve, but I'm
no,
only
yeah,
bringing it
we-
up because I was like, oh, that guy kind of stands out.
yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of asking. like,
That guy's name is Brent Fitz. He plays drums in Slash's band, actually. And he came in, practiced with us twice, and did 2 festival shows. So it was pretty
cool.
good.
Actually, I listened to that interview because you guys didn't play new stuff because you didn't have time to learn the new stuff.
Yeah,
So.
and we still like even now we play we're just, we got 6 new songs that are good and we really like to play. And
Man, these fucking massive gigs you guys are playing to like a million people.
it's ridiculous.
One thing I think about, is it weird to be so far away from the crowd?
I like it. I like the huge, ridiculous stuff because you can be more in your own world and focus more on what you're doing. More people that are in your face, like it's great for that visceral fan connection shit. But for me as a player, like I gotta focus, man. And like singing, the worst thing you can do as a singer is deal with any kind of stress, mental or physical. So being that close to people is physical stress right off the bat. And then like being in front of that many people is a bit of mental stress, but it's easier, and once you get used to that, like after doing like 2 months in arenas.
It's so nuts. I guess it shows you what you're built of, but like I've done a few big shows, like 200 people, and I get nervous then. Like I don't know. I guess if I ever play to that many, I'll see how I do, but
it's not that bad. You feel more detached. It gets easier as you do it. The first 3 arena shows, you're going to suck. Your sound guy's going to suck, you're going to suck. And then after that, it gets progressively better, and by the time 2 months is done, you're professionals.
Well, I guess, it's the norm, right? It's like you're saying, like, another arena thing. What's the worst you guys messed up ever?
Oh, God, we screwed up so bad.
Like the worst one?
Oh, I don't even know. People can say a million things. I forget to step on my tuning pedal all the time. I don't care. I mean, really, to be honest with you, you could get so upset about fucking up all the time, or you could just fuck up and gracefully do it. Who cares? Oh, you hit a bad note. Everyone heard it. Oh, no, I'm a bass player and a singer. I'm fucked. I'm like literally the guy you can hear every mistake he makes, no matter what. So it's like, you just gotta just smile,
whatever,
laugh it off. We were playing this one tune. We were opening for Billy Talent in Halifax at the arena, and like, in the middle of the song, I broke my low E string, and I'm just like looking at everyone in the band. I'm like, like we're fucked, dudes. Yeah. And I ended up like kind of figuring out how to take it off and get my other one on, but then my other one had a totally different sound. I had to adjust everything in the middle of a fucking song. Yeah. And the song's like 9 minutes long, like slow blues jam, and I'm trying to figure this out. It was just disaster. It was like a train wreck. But that happens once in a while. We had a show. We had a bunch of shows where, like, Jared will plug in and we'll do the whole sound check, and we'll get up to play the first note, and it'll just be like nothing. So now everyone's scrambling on stage. One time we have a song that just starts with a snare and kick, and I think Steve has played it for like 6 minutes before we got the guitars fixed. He just kept playing it. He just kept playing it. And I'm like, yeah, keep playing. And I was like, oh, shit.
These like big ass fucking shows, I'm curious, because I've never done that stage, right? Like, is a volume, this might be a silly question, but like, is stage volume an issue? Are they like, turn down, please?
Oh, yeah, it always is. I always turn down.
Massive stages?
I want to turn down. Yeah? I want the PA to do the work. If our sound guy's like, turn down, I turn down. Doesn't matter where we are.
True.
I have to. Yeah, I have to. Yeah. He's the one that's making it sound good.
Now, for you, I guess that's the thing. Like, I'm viewing this from my experience where, like, generally sound guys are terrible. Right. And there's either no monitors or the guy doesn't know how to mix. Like, that's the whole idea, right? You have your monitors so you can fucking...
Oh, we figured that out.
Oh, man.
We figured that out a long time ago. We bought a rack rig, and it's basically a mixer, like a 2-space mixer, and we run ears. So we put our ears all through that. So we have our own snake on stage. Everything goes into that snake, and everything goes into there. And all we send to front of house is one line. A left and a right go to front of house, and everything else is contained. And all of our monitors are adjusted on our cell phones.
So on your cell phones? Cool.
Dude, it is mental. You know that time when you're sitting there? We have 4 guys in our band who all like things specifically. And when they get going on the monitors, like, it can take forever. Now we can set up on a clear stage in half an hour. And we're good to go. We don't have a monitor guy. We don't need one. It's all controlled from an iPad and our phones.
So, like, you're on stage and, like, I want more of this. You just go to your phone and adjust it there?
Yeah, basically it costs a lot of money to get, well, not that much. It probably costs like 20 grand to get the whole thing going. But we would have spent that in a sound guy within like 2 tours. Like a monitor guy.
True.
Think about it, 20 weeks.
Yeah.
That's 20 weeks for a monitor guy. Now we have a monitor guy for the rest of our lives. And the ears were expensive, but like the rest of it wasn't that bad.
Good investment, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to sound good. And now it's the same everywhere. So if we play an arena or we play a club, it's pretty much typically the same.
Fuck, man. Yeah, like, yeah, man, like
It changed everything.
You know, man, like you've done the grind, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, fuck.
It was
Especially-
about that. It was about having personnel. It was about doing it in the most efficient way for everyone, and that was the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, buy this rig. We buy it, we fly it around, and do the whole shit.
What's the longest you guys have been in 1 year? What's the longest you were out?
Oh, I don't even know.
10 months? No.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Well, we had a couple years there when we were out doing Furiosity. That was a rough one. That was 2 years of straight shit. Whew. And like we haven't toured that hard since, but we still like, you know, still like at least 8 or 9 months a year.
Crazy, man.
Go. Bring my family out. My son's been on tour twice.
For the whole, like, for a whole
No,
run of, like,
for 2 weeks at a time.
yeah.
We had him out first when he was 8 months. We were on tour with Nickelback, so it was great because it was in arenas, and we had like our own massive dressing room like every day, you know, and everyone loved him. Everyone just poked their heads in and say, "Oh, where's Jack?" And there he is. He's off in the corner being a weirdo, but
Yeah.
he's just starting to walk then too, and it was super easy to have him because he wasn't mobile. And then when we were out with Deep Purple and we took him out when he was like a year and a half. Whew.
Yeah, different beast.
That is a totally different game. Well, especially when he learned how to jump out of his cot when he doesn't want to sleep anymore.
Oh, my God.
And the bus is moving. It was mental. So it was just a lot of, and we had to keep him busy. Like he's getting up at 5 a.m.
Man, it's so crazy.
You know, what do
Yeah.
you do with that? So I'm up at 5 a.m. running around with him inside an empty arena while everyone's setting up for the show. It's crazy. It was an experience. And I don't think we'll really do it again, but I think we needed to know that. You know, we need to know what it was.
Yeah.
And when he's older and he can sleep in a bunk, I'll probably bring him. You know.
Well, yeah, like it's
or like fly dates or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's great that you could bring them out, and it's like, well, I guess any sort of parenting endeavor, you're gonna learn as you go. It's really that's the same thing. Like I'm at home learning, and you're learning. The same,
Dude,
you
it's
know, different setting, but
I think it really helped his social development too, like with the being on the constantly moving thing. And he met so many people.
for sure.
And it was just like it totally ruined his entire schedule every time we took him. But it's crazy. I think it helped him a lot, especially with like language development and things like that.
Okay.
But he saw 10 countries in his first like year and a half of his life.
Nuts, man. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that you're a dad now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
wild.
I guess even me, it's kind of crazy. I'm a dad, but shit. So like, I kind of think sometimes of like Tay, my son, and like if he's gonna be into music or not. I want him to because I meet rad people and it's
Right.
been a great experience. Do you like what are you gonna do with homie?
I think it's gonna be all music, anyways. He loves it. He sings all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always on key. It's crazy. He's wild. It pisses me off. And I have friends that come over that are singers, and they'll be like sitting there, and he'll start singing, and they're like, "Oh my god."
Really?
My friend Maya was like, "I think your kid has perfect pitch." I'm like, "Just let's not jinx this." But I think he'll be into it because I'm into it. Why not? That's like having one of like, you remember when Paul McCartney's fat son did that whole music project?
Mhm.
Why not? You're Paul McCartney's son.
True,
It's
true.
how it works. It's
True.
like you kind of have to give her a go because you already got an in.
I think
Any
it'll be
you
either
can get
or.
edge.
I
Yeah.
think it'll be because you do it or because I do it. He'll do it or he'll be turned off.
But
from
they'll be
it.
obsessed with music regardless because we are.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Like my dad was obsessed with music, and that's why I was obsessed with
That's
music.
how you got
know?
into it. Your pops.
Oh yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
His record collection's like a store.
So was it he was putting it on when you were around, or
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Because I think I bought a tape player. I need to get batteries for it, but I want to be like, listen, like this is yours. Help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like that with you, or was it?
Not really. I wasn't allowed to touch his records or anything, but he would put on whatever I wanted. He was
he
a
play
guitar player too, yeah.
Okay.
So he was a big into church, so he used to go to church and play guitar all the time. That was kind of his thing. Still does it. But yeah, he's always been like a guitar player and record collector. So it's like that's easy.
Well, like, man, your parents are your first. Well,
Yeah.
role models. There's so many definitions a parent can have. For sure. That, my dad didn't play music, but I can only assume
Right.
that if he did, I just kind of fell into it. But that would have been like, wow, cool. The guy that is my superhero is like
Right.
into this thing. For sure, I'll be into this
Yeah.
thing.
It's kind of cool.
For
I was lucky. He like really
Did he tour? Was he doing band stuff?
No.
No.
He just played in church, hung out. You know, he wrote songs too. He used to write a lot more when I was younger. He used to write everyone birthday songs. Oh, they were awesome too. They weren't like normal birthday songs. It was like Chris Christopherson birthday songs. I'm like, damn, this is pretty deep. But yeah, it was like, music has always been huge. in my family. My granddad was a massive classical music guy. Like, he always had the greatest stereo and all the but he was. That's the thing. It's always just kind of been there, you know.
When you started playing, did you start playing with Fleming? Like first band?
Kind of. I was playing drums.
Really?
And then, I played drums forever, and then those guys needed a bass player in their punk band, and I said okay, because my band just broke up. The one I was in with Fleming was called PFA.
PFA.
Yeah.
That was with Dahlia or no?
Yeah. And then me and Matt and Nick started Hoosier Poet after that broke up. And Jared from Monster Truck was in Hoosier Poet.
Really?
And then we kicked him out.
Why?
Because we didn't feel like he was dedicated enough. Which is so fucking weird, because if anyone knows that guy, they know he's most... Like, when he's like something, he's obsessed with it. And he makes it the main passion of his life. He was so bummed out. And I never found out until one Monster Truck night. Jared's like, oh, I remember when you guys kicked me out of Hoosier Poet. I was so sad. I was like, oh, sorry, dude. We thought you didn't even want to be in our band, so...
Man, I had to kick my brother out of, basically Tugna. It was me, Kipes, and Lavisa, the original drummer, and my brother was singing. And same thing, he wasn't dedicated enough, so I had to sit him down listen, I got to kick you out of here. The band that you started that I joined, last.
It's one of those things, though.
So when you started, playing with Hoosier and shit, you guys went out west, right?
Yeah. We did, one tour, or, 2 fucking tours. We were the laziest band ever. We could it's kind of sad when I look back on it. Sometimes when I listen to the tunes, I'm like, these are fucking okay.
Oh, they're great.
And I'm like, we could probably done a lot more with this. If we had had our shit together and gone to the States. And, I remember one time Chris Logan's, from Goodfellow was like, yo, I'll sign you guys, but you got to fucking tour. And we're like, wow, how are we going to do that? And really, I wish I had the attitude I had now about touring, where it's just you just go. But, spilled milk.
Whatever. Yeah. It was still a great experience.
It still made me know how to play. It still got me a lot better. Playing with Fleming is a learning experience.
Jesus Christ, no kidding,
Guy's
man.
pretty good.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
No, he's great. Were your parents cool with the whole music touring thing? Because I think about, it's not a solid, secure future. Listen, even to what we were saying before, it's still a struggle, but it was never you should do this. They were very cool with go do the fucking playing basements thing.
Yeah, I didn't think they really, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so important, man.
It really is.
Whatever does make you happy. And I feel like music, without it, I'd be probably lost and generally not as happy.
Yeah.
There's something real special about making something from nothing with your friends. I still play with Mark, man. Yeah. And it's fucking beautiful. It's so much fun and healthy and a million other things.
It's true. You got to have something. The worst part now is someone asked me the other day, they're like, what's your hobbies? I was like, oh, fuck. I don't have any hobbies. None.
Yeah.
I literally have 0 hobbies. Because everything I used to do as a hobby is now what I do for a job. So it's everything I used to find in it that was a release is no longer a release.
Really, eh?
Yeah, it's just stress. You got to fucking write awesome songs or you're done. And whereas before it was just we'll just do the best we can. And now it's you got to do good.
Yeah.
Or, and people forget about people quick. I mean, think about this shit. If a band you really like, I got to think of a million bands that I really like. And you'll get one record and you really like it.
Uh-huh.
And then you'll kind of be like, oh, yeah, that band's wicked. And then you'll find other bands and do other things. And then they'll put out 4 records. And then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, they got 9 records? And you totally forgot about them because there's so much other stuff going on. So to actually grab a fan base and keep them is the most challenging thing there is.
Fuck, especially in this time, I think, with the access that everyone has to whatever they want.
I know.
It's ADD.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because Spotify and Apple Music, I love it. It's awesome. It's the best thing ever. But it's also totally fucking with my paycheck.
How does
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so you
No, streaming doesn't matter unless you get millions.
Really, eh?
If you're sitting at 100, 200 million or $1 billion like Post Malone or Weeknd and stuff, then you make money because you can afford a lawyer already that it's going to get you that money. Because Spotify doesn't make a profit. Spotify has never ever recorded a profit.
Really?
Ever. Look into it. They're so in debt it's ridiculous. The year they actually report a profit will be outstanding.
Holy shit.
And that's why no one gets paid.
Wow. Interesting.
Because how the hell are you supposed to get a profit? Everyone's paying $15 a month. $15 used to be a super cheap CD.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? I used to spend hundreds of dollars a month on just CDs. And now that doesn't exist. And that's where everyone used to make money. And record labels aren't making money, and the budgets for the albums are getting smaller, but the technology is getting better, so it doesn't really matter. But it's if you want to get with the banging producer now, you're spending your own money. We spent a ton of our own money on our last record. Like, we basically spent almost double what the label gave us.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that the end product is as
Just do it the right way,
quality
you know?
as-
Yeah, exactly. Do it the right way. We went to a studio in North Carolina called Echo Mountain. The whole place is insane. They have the best gear ever, and it's a great vibe. And it was expensive. And we got a producer from England, and that was expensive. And then we decided to go back in the studio and do 3 more songs with Gavin Brown, and that was really expensive. And it's just like, it adds up. Mixing twice, mastering twice. Like, the whole deal is just expensive.
Fuck, man.
And we got, like, Mike Fraser mixed it, and he's like, Mike Fraser mixed most of the record, and Eric Ratz did, like, 3 songs on it. Both those guys are expensive. And then, actually, Fraser gave us a deal, but he's a good dude. And then this guy Vlado in the UK mastered it, and he even gave us a deal, and that was still expensive. So it's just, there's no way to escape it. It's like, the amount people want to make doesn't go down, you know, if they're good. The amount you pay goes up. And then you're sitting here going like a guy like Dave Cobb to do a record for somebody now. Like, I mean, I bet it's astronomical, but like 20 years or like 5 or 6 years ago, it's probably way less. It's just like things fluctuate like that so crazily depending on 1 or 2 successes that if they have 1 or 2 successes, you're paying, you know,
Yeah.
tens of thousands of
Based on
dollars
those,
more.
like,
Yeah.
past things.
Because look what I've done. Now you have to give me more money. It's like, well, yeah, all right.
So, like, is everyone else except the band making money, basically? Like, your managers are doing okay, and like,
Yeah, well, they already manage other bands and stuff like that
I
too, right?
guess
None of
that's
these
it.
guys are having a single stream of
right,
income,
that's
and for
right.
us, it's like we're still doing fine. Like we're not dying here. It's not like anyone's making a fortune.
you're surviving.
Yeah, you know, our staff gets paid really well, but then again, all staff of all bands always gets paid very well. But you're asking them to do a thankless thing. They're not getting any credit for that shit. No one ever says, "Oh man, that sound guy for that band was excellent." You know, like, wow, what a sound. Actually, our sound guy gets those compliments because he's a maniac, but he actually does. People come, "That's the best show I've ever heard."
Really?
And he's
Ah,
like,
fucking
"Oh
A."
yeah." He's like, "Hey guys, guess what?" Oh man, he wants a
Italian.
raise.
Yeah, fuck.
But it's seriously like, it's a thankless job. The guy that cleans up the gear, like, he's not getting any glory. You know, he might get laid a couple times or like eat some good food, but like that's about as good as it's getting for him. And he's got to work while we're all, you know what I mean? Like,
So your day, like a typical kind of touring thing, you'll drive overnight generally, and then like
yeah,
load
if
in
we have a
early
bus,
and-
we drive overnight.
Yeah.
If we're in a van, we wake up early and drive.
Tons of downtime, I
We
guess.
hardly ever van though. We haven't van in ages. Yeah, man, always
What are you doing? Reading?
write songs. Write the next album.
You bring that shit on the road then?
Yeah, I just bring my guitar and then we read. I got a whole rig now that I just use to demo shit. So
Cool.
I do a bunch of that. Read. If we're in Europe, just go.
Do you have because you've done so much touring, do you have a place that's the raddest?
I like a lot of places. Depends what country. I got a favorite city in every one.
Yeah.
But like Berlin's sick,
Berlin?
and I love Nashville, even though I'm not super into America right now, and Montreal
Yeah. I was gonna say what's the worst, but I thought that's a stupid question.
and Melbourne, Australia. Ooh,
Yeah.
only been there once, but it was sick. We were there for like 4 days. It's like so expensive,
Really?
but it's awesome. Yeah, the dollar's on par, but everything costs way more. So it's like, well, I was a smoker at the time. The pack of cigarettes is $35.
Holy
A
shit.
6-pack of beer is $28. The beer's really good.
Yeah.
And breakfast is $40 and like shit like that. Or like you're not eating cheap.
Jesus.
Even like a Subway at 2 a.m. when you're half cut is like $15.
Jeez. Wow.
Dude.
So how does it work for you guys in the band? Like you're getting a per diem still?
Oh, yeah.
That's how it goes?
We do PDs and then yeah, that's what keeps you going. It's
Pretty
great.
much, yeah.
It's like getting a paycheck every week.
Now is it like is it an exorbitant amount, or like can you save some of that at the end of the tour, or you're just
yeah,
kinda
people
like,
do,
"Ah."
but I like to eat.
Well, yeah, just enjoy
And
it.
if I'm
eh?
gonna eat, I'm gonna eat something good. I'm gonna go to a good restaurant, eat it.
How do
Like
you
not like 5-star, but I'll go to like, you know, I'm not gonna eat at a fine dining place, but I'm gonna go casual fine.
How do you like as far as the day you eat, like kind of the just I'm curious as to the when you eat, when you start warming up, like do you have
I don't
a
eat
routine?
much. I
Before
don't
a
eat that
show?
much on tour. I used to eat a lot after the show, but I stopped doing that.
Before a show will fuck you up?
No, I have to eat before a show. If my stomach starts growling, it pisses me off and then it makes me upset. I'm not kidding. I get hangry like crazy.
Hangry.
So like halfway through an hour and a half set, if I haven't eaten, oh God. But yeah, I just during the day I just chill until I feel like not chilling, and then do vocal. I have a lot more vocal warm-ups now because I have coaching now.
Okay.
But I used to just not have any. I just chill and usually have a non-alcoholic beer before we play. Because alcohol just sucks when you're playing. I think when you're playing anything, you might as well get on stage straight and worry about that shit after. That's what I started doing, and it worked out really good. But yeah, me and my drummer used to have a ritual. We smoked a bunch of weed before we played, but that got kind of old too, so I kind of skipped that.
Just got old. Why? Like
because you're just tired.
Yeah, makes you
I'm
sleepy.
tired. It's fun. It's fun. 1 out of every 10 times. So now it's all sober on stage for me. Other guys drink, but I don't know. But yeah, man, you just get ready before the show, stretch a bit, and then do it. If you don't stretch, you're dead. If you're an old dude.
How long are you guys playing? What's your set long?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half we headline, and then if we're supporting whatever it is, 40, half an hour.
Fuck.
Hour and a half's a long time, man.
That is a long time, man.
That's like 20 songs.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not bad, but it's a lot.
It's a version of exertion. Like
yeah, you have to work out.
Yeah.
Or you're done.
Or do something.
As soon as we started playing that long, I had to work out.
Now work out as in like literally like cardio and
I
shit?
used to do a lot of cardio. I used to do a lot of running, but then I stopped doing cardio because my knees were just like killing me. So I'm going to start getting back into it. But no, just I got like a half an hour workout day, and I just do like a bunch of yoga moves, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Huh.
And then most of my cardio is done with my vocal warm-ups. Because it's the hardest. Singing properly is the hardest thing to do ever.
So I watched that Rambling Man interview.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who she was referencing. Fuck. But the thing was like, if you can see the veins in the neck, that means you're singing wrong.
Right.
Is that actually a thing?
Yeah, probably. If your neck's working a lot harder than your diaphragm, you're done. It's all about what you want to sound like, though. Like, do you want to sing properly? Do you want that good tone? Is singing from your throat part of your sound?
I guess.
That's how you look at it. I mean, now I can sing like an opera singer halfway, but it's just like, that's not my style. So I kind of have to move everything and make it my own. But
So, and there's all this experience that you've had with being in the band. Is there more shit you want to do still, or like any more bucket list? Because you guys have done. Did you guys?
No, I'm good.
Juno?
Yeah, I wanted Juno.
So like, what else?
Grammy, I guess.
Tour with Slash?
Yeah, we went
Grammy?
we went with Alice in Chains for a long time. We did Nickelback a bunch of times. Deep Purple a bunch of times.
Like, there's nothing you like.
Bunch of younger bands too that we toured with, and then yeah, no, I'm good.
You do Japan yet?
No, that'd be cool.
Okay.
I really would love to do Japan, but other than that, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to South Africa, maybe
Yeah.
to South America a little bit, depending on how safe it was at that current time.
Yeah.
But I want to do one of those Monsters of Rock things when
That'd
Iron
be
Maiden
sick.
goes down and plays for like 300,000 people.
What is the most amount of people you've played for?
Probably like 80 to 100,000.
Is it deafening?
No, because no one gives a shit.
You just hear small
Their
talk.
conversations are deafening.
Their small talk is deafening.
Well, like, we played Festival d'Été in Quebec on the main stage before Guns N' Roses, and that was big. I was like 80 to 100. And then Download, when we just played 2 weeks ago, was like...
That was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was like
Shit.
80. And then, I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was like June 9th. I don't know. 3 weeks ago, a month. But yeah, it's like, you get that shit. It's way more deafening in arena.
Huh. Yeah.
We opened for Deep Purple at 17,000 Croatians, and that was very loud.
Wow.
And they were really excited for Deep Purple, but for some reason, because we were playing before them, they were really excited for us too. So
cool.
every time we finished, they were like, ah, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's so
What is
sick.
Sofia? Oh no, was it Sofia, Bulgaria, or was it Croatia? No, it was Zagreb, Croatia is where it was.
I played Croatia once
Yeah.
to like 2 people. Our back line, because at the time they weren't part of the union and we had to go through customs.
Yeah.
So our driver said like, we won't bring any, just bring the basics and we'll just say we're visiting. But the back line was, the bass cab was one 10-inch combo amp. Our other guitar player just had like a 212. It was we played like 4 songs to like 2 people.
Wow.
That's my experience. Beautiful country.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's quite the place. I mean, I didn't really get to see much. I saw the arena a lot.
I guess that's it though. With your touring, you don't really get, or do you? Do you make time
You can.
to go?
You can.
Depends.
I mean, I just start getting tired, and I just like to stay in the zone. So I'm not really a wanderer. Our organ player goes to the main town or main square in every single city we're in. He does. He really takes advantage of it. I do go to a lot of art museums, but if there's not an art museum around, I'm okay.
Huh. Do you ever have a point where you wanted to quit music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now. No, I always do.
Now, and you don't because of it's like, what else am I gonna do, or like?
Yeah, it's a lot of that, and it's a lot of like. It's like a chef who's got 3 Michelin stars, or even 1, I guess, in our position. Just be like, no, I'm not going to cook anymore. I'm going to become a stockbroker. It's like, you're an idiot. So why would I do that? It's such the perception of it alone it would piss me off. Like, you've been given this thing, you ride it out, and then when it's done, you know, that's when you decide to become a fucking stockbroker.
Yeah.
Or get into real estate like most dudes I know in bands.
Well, you'll figure it out, man. Like, it's just...
Oh, I'm not really worried about it. To be honest with you, I think that I think there's got to be something to be said for just being involved. And when you meet that many people in our industry, and people, we made it a point when we started this band, we always have to have someone schmoozing. People have to remember us all the time. Because that goes a long fucking way, especially with like guys that like work on magazines or guys in like, you know, on different labels or different managers or different, like, you want to get tours. You want to be in magazines. Like, you gotta, as long as you're cool and stick it out, and you never act like a rock star, because you're not. No one fucking is. If Slash doesn't act like a rock star, you're not allowed.
Yeah, you can't.
He does kind of, but like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys who are actual mega fucking rock stars don't act like that. You can't. You have to be cool all the time to everyone, and then you can you can keep it going no matter what you're doing. Like I said, like, I mean, fuck, I could become probably a lot of things, but you just have to be smart in the entertainment industry, and people have to see that you're willing and have talent. It's hard, man. It's fucking crazy, because when you think about it, being in a good band and having a long career is like being a hockey player.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
10, 12 years. It's a good career.
Good career, yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
So now I have to figure out what other team I'm going to play for so I can keep this shit going.
Yeah, fuck. Have you ever been like offered something like that? Like from someone like, hey, do you want to join us?
No.
No, eh?
And you know what? I don't think, I think people get it. Like, I don't know how I would join them. Like, I couldn't let this go. This is my baby. You know? Me and Jerry wrote all the songs for this band. So it's like, it'd be stupid for me to walk away from it. But, I don't know. It depends. Depends who's asking.
Depends which team's asking.
Well, I mean, shit. There's definitely been situations where people hinted at asking, but it's just like, what's the point? I don't want to pursue something like that. I think the ego-free environment I'm in right now is good. I think once people start having an ego, it's poison. And I don't want to enter a poison situation.
No, minimize that as much as
even
you
with
can.
anyone from Poison, I don't even want to.
Poison hitting you up.
Terrible band.
I think I went through most of my stuff here. There's some like low ball questions, but it really is fascinating, man, to like pull the curtain back and see your side of it, man. It's like weird. It's crazy. It's really rad though, because like I know, and I met you, you know, doing small little time things, and there's an honesty in that, that it's great to see someone who's just a music lover. You know, you like listening to music, you like creating music, and you're doing it on a platform and on a level that is great. Like,
I'm lucky. I won the fucking lottery. I got to do a lot of things that people don't ever get to do. And you know what? That's what gets me by. It's like, I don't give a shit about having a crazy house or nice cars or a fucking nice watch. I just want to like keep doing it. And if people allow me to keep doing it, then that's good. That's good enough for me.
Well, shit, you guys, I think the experience you have and even how you're running it seems like it's like a serious business, but you're not letting it ruin the experience.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully whatever length of time you guys do it will make it enjoyable.
Yeah, totally. And I think, you know, it all comes down to what your picture of success is. Are you unreasonable? Are you not? Are you happy with what you have? Do you always want more? It's like some people aren't happy and some people are. And you know, especially in a band like ours, it's like 4 completely fucking different people.
Hmm.
You know, so it's all relative. But you know, I mean, I think like I could say I could die tomorrow. You ask another guy in the band, they're like, "You fuck that." But just one of those things.
Let me see how long this is, because I think that's pretty good, man. I guess that question I asked some people, just because I'm curious, is what was your first gig when you what do you remember about your first gig
Playing?
ever? Yeah, was it a talent show? Most people are like talent show at high school.
No, I think mine was my church.
Originals or covers?
I think it was originals. I think it was my old Christian pop punk band.
What was that
yeah,
called?
Dude. 4 Quarters.
4 Quarters?
We were terrible, but it was fun, and we did okay, and we played a lot of shows.
Was that when you were doing drums?
Yeah, playing drums. Wow. But then something I'd never do now. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
We played a bunch. I can't remember our first show ever, but I remember some of those shows.
Yeah.
You know, playing to 30 people in the youth group.
What was the first Who's Your show?
It was in Fleming's basement.
I got a party?
And we were a 5-piece.
5-piece? Who was the 5th guy?
His name is Andrew Hall. He's a doctor now, doing really well. He quit the band because he's like, dude, I'm going to be too busy with doctoring. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. You can go doctor away. But yeah, he was a great singer. And him and Jarrett from Monster Truck was in it. And then we paired down to a 3-piece, and I started singing.
So great. You guys just did the 2 things, right? 84 Tempo.
Yeah, we only did 2 short records. EPs, I guess you'd even call them.
I just had 2 episodes ago, Dave O'Connor was on.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about the fucking High Art show, High Art for the Lowdown. It was Our Father, Tugnut, you guys.
That was the best.
Someone else, too.
Was that at, what's it called? Siesta Nouveau?
Upstairs, yeah. It was like
that
Siesta,
was
but
so
the High Art.
Oh, I remember that show. That was crazy.
It was a really small place.
Some guy gave me like an ounce joint. He's like, here, man. I'm like, whoa.
I don't know if it was that same night, but Matt Black, the guy who ran it, said he saw a guy. Oh fuck, I'm probably gonna fuck this up. But he was drinking something clear, and it was like mouthwash or like hand sanitizer or something. And he let Matt sip it, and he's like, "You're gonna want to drink a water after that." Like, Jesus Christ! Like, I think he had to kick the guy out because it was pretty sketchy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, super.
You don't
wild.
want that shit.
Does anyone bring up Who's Your at all around you?
No.
Aside from us?
Not really.
No, yeah.
And
oh, you're the guy from.
I don't think
Who's Your.
anyone even knows. Once in a blue moon, someone will say something about it, but it's always someone who's around way back when.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you guys. Coming into the scene, you guys, anyone who was previously there was older than me in my head.
Yeah.
So there was this version of Who's Your. I'm like, Who's Your's enormous. Everyone knows Who's Your. But reality is one tour out west and it was what it was, right?
Yeah, we literally toured out west once and out east twice, and there you go. But it was fun. It was a good time.
That
we did a lot of drugs. A lot. We did so many drugs it was embarrassing sometimes.
Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's the time for it.
Well, we used to jam all night. We used to get off work at Friday night. Everyone would get off work, and we go down to the jam space and do a bunch of drugs and jam all night.
We're at Sonic Onion.
Yeah. Tim still talks about that stuff. I know Tim really well. It's still he just he's down the street. But yeah, he's always like, oh man, I remember how much of a little shit you were. And I was like, yep, I remember that too. I remember not paying you rent ever.
Yeah,
even though it was like $150 a month or something like that.
You know what? Do you have the recordings we did with Christian?
Oh no, I don't think so.
I had them on a comp, and my buddy was trying to do something with it where I became the admin of a computer that my dad gave me, and he wiped it. I had them.
Oh no,
but I don't have them anymore.
Man, I wish I had those. There were some good riffs.
I do too. I forgot about them until Mark brought it up 2 days ago.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Time.
That was a weird time.
Time of Legends. I think that's literally what it was called.
They could have done a lot better. They could have kept going. It's too bad that guy was such a junkie.
Where is he now?
Who knows? I see him around Hamilton. He still walks around sometimes, but it's like, I'm not going to talk to him.
Yeah. I remember the phone call.
Yeah, he fucked with me.
Yeah, fuck. That's too bad.
That's all right.
Well, listen, man, I do these about this long, and then I'll do the Hibzine thing, which was Mark had a zine where you just talk to people about music that's rad.
Okay.
And it's funny because usually I'm talking about really kind of underground people where I could play their music and it's not an issue. But 1 or 2 times I have people on and I play their music, but depending on what level of success they are, it'll get pulled. So I'll play... what is it? Evolution? No, what is it called?
I play Evolution. Play True Rocker.
True Rockers?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's on the streaming too.
Okay, I'll put that in after. But this is Monsters Trucks, True Rockers.
Hey, Mom, let's go! Come on, Mom, let's get on! Quit yelling at me, man, come on! I'm not an honest or a poet or a saint. I never claimed to be much of anything. I turn everything up until it breaks. I know who I am, I believe in a rock and roll. And I don't have to try, 'cause it's in my soul. I'm here to testify that I lose control. I know who I am. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know who I am. That's right. Oh yeah. I know who I am. A true rocker. I am a true rocker. I feel the music from inside, baby, from within. I'm good to go on just about anything. The double break with both feet. I know who I am. That's right. Come on. Oh yeah. I know who I am. A true rocker. I am a true rocker. Now make a little noise. Oh yeah. I know who I am. We are gathered here today to pay respect to rock and roll, to testify that we are true rockers. To say rock and roll is not dead, 'cause it lives in our hearts. Stand up and be counted. Stand up and show your true colors. Show everybody you know that rock lives in your soul, and that we ain't never gonna let it die. I wanna see all heads banging, all fists to the sky. Scream at the top of your lungs. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I am a true rocker. Let me hear you sing. Raise your voices in praise. And as long as we still breathe rock and roll, it will live forever. And if you believe it will never die, we will never die. Now scream! I am a true rocker. I am a true rocker. I am a true rocker.
That was that. That's really it, man. I just want to fucking sit and talk to an old friend who's doing cool things, and
It's really awesome to see you.
yeah, I'm sure we'll just I'll just edit the end after. But yeah, that's it. So people, monstertruck.com. That's what it is.
Yeah, I love monstertruck.com. If you want to see stuff, and there's stuff to all our social media from there. And all it is tour dates, so it's a super wicked website.
Yeah, check that out. Follow them, like them. I don't know.
Yeah, if you like. I don't know. If you don't want it, it's cool too.
All right, that was the episode, guys. So thanks for listening. And if you guys can, subscribe, rate and review on iTunes. I'm now on Spotify, so that's fucking super cool. I have the YouTube channel. I don't know how you guys consume your podcast, but I try to get it out through as many means as I can. Subscribe to all that shit if you can. It's I don't know. It helps the show. It really does. People looking in notice that shit and might pay more attention than if there's like 0 likes or fucking 0 subscribers or whatever. It seems silly, but the reality of it is it's social media and that shit kind of matters. So if you guys can follow the stuff and share it, that's fucking super cool. All love to the sponsors. They are Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Use promo code TakerWide5, save 5%. The hot sauce from Thunder Bay, that is delicious, super good. Also DFA Tattoos out in Montreal, 328 St. Catherine Est. Go get tatted up by Shawnee and the crew. You won't regret it. Kevin Rigo of Hefner Toyota out in Kitchener, 3121 King Street East. Mention the show, you'll get special pricing on new vehicles. All love to Kevin. Ironclad Graphics out in Kingston, just ironcladgraphics.com. Scope it out. Shirts, fucking koozies, tote bags, whatever. Competitive pricing, great product, reliable guys. Go to them for your fucking merch needs. DapperBeardOil.com. Use promo code TakerWide free ship for your free shipping on that awesome beard oil. WellingtonBrewery.ca for the beers. DaveLevittPhotography.ca for the love. And what else can I say? I don't know. Just if you guys haven't ordered a shirt, grab a shirt, TakerWide.com. Sign up for the newsletter if you can. You'll see some extra savings, and each episode kind of gets broken down even further with links to videos we might have referenced, or just kind of, it's like a reference point for the episode of things we talk about. And that's about it, I think. I don't know. It's been fun. I'm not sure who's going to be next week, but I'll figure it out. And until then, yeah, just I love you guys, love your friends, love your life, and that's it. Take it wide. See ya.